That's pretty cool. The building's turning 100 years old. That's amazing. And I know that your building is a slightly different setup. It's not a body corporate as such. It's a company, right?
Company.
So
yeah.
how does that sort of vary from a body corporate for you?
It's brilliant.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it works well. So we're building was built in 1922. People moved in 1924. It was always a company structure, and it was built as an investment opportunity. There were 2 or 3 people who were shareholders and residents from the start. These days we must be somewhere like 90% owner occupied. We all have a shareholding in the company with a license to occupy your individual flat. Because we're a company, we can make our own rules, so we don't get tangled up with the likes of Airbnb. We pay levies just like everyone else pays a body corporate fee or levy. So in many ways it's not so different, other than the fact that we are, somewhat masters of our own destiny.
That sounds so cool. Like it sounds like the ideal solution to to communal living, essentially, or multi-unit living. So you've got your building. How many units in
there? 24 units and a caretaker's flat.
So 25. But so then I guess all the caretaker's flat would be owned by everybody.
Yeah, owned by the company, so it just generates income along with the car parks out the back. And then feeds back in.
The company that's in place, you all own shares in, and the company essentially owns the asset.
Yep. Yeah, look,
it sounds like the solution to me.
It works really well. I think there's another one in Parnell and maybe 2 or 3 in Wellington. But again, when I was doing work for this book, you could sift back through and you could see the number of times that people endeavoured to, or certainly move into unit titles when the unit titles came along. Thankfully, that was resisted because we are in a pretty unique position, and it does seem to work really well for us. I mean, we don't have any commercial, so we don't have commercial, and we don't. There are a couple of units being rented out at the moment, but generally people don't, because we sting people with a fairly hefty extra levy if you do. If it's not you or your immediate family, then it is actually going to cost you as an incentive to ensure that we don't have too many people renting, and that we all kind of know each other. I mean, I can think of someone living in there who said recently that they really like the fact that when they come home and they see people in the corridors, they actually know who they are. And we do a Neighbours Day event every year. We do a kind of progressive dinner up and down the stairs. We normally open up for Heritage Week. I mean, we don't have we have a communal space on the roof. Like we never got a lid, a penthouse lid put on, thankfully. So a couple of big tables, barbecue, that sort of thing. So that's our communal space.
So how is it different then? Because you've lived in both a body corporate and in a company setup. Like, does it sort of feel different when you're in the building, or is it just the behind the scenes stuff that's different, the ownership structure?
Day-to-day living, it feels just it's home where you live. It seems to run pretty smoothly. There aren't really any, because everyone's a shareholder. There aren't really any competing demands. I mean, in other buildings, you've got the owner occupiers. I think they're usually 3 camps. The owner occupiers, any commercial ownership, and then those who have invested. Each of those 3 groups have very different kind of desires at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And I think often that's where the tensions come in body corporates.